COVID has really disrupted everyone, and people are really, really struggling. Um,
Yeah.
how do you think? How do you think people can survive?
The thing with COVID, what it has done is it catalyzed the disruption that we were all anticipating and we thought would happen in 4-5 years. So it just catalyzed it and brought it forward. Every sector has really suffered from this. If you are in hotel, if you're in schools, education, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in film, whatever it is, it has really affected all of us. So first things first is I think people need to get to the space where they understand that first, we are not going to go back to how things were in February. Never. So once we understand that, then we have to look at now, how then are things going to be working from now henceforth? And I think for me, this brings now the whole, what people call the third industrial revolution and stuff like that, where it's the sharing economy, where tech and digital takes over, where shared economy is, for example, right now, we are using a platform to communicate. We don't own it, but many other people can use it, so we are sharing it through the digital space. If you want to move from place to place, you can go and take a vehicle, and that vehicle doesn't belong to you, but you'll pay it, it can be tracked, it can do whatever. So we are going more into the shared economy where people leverage on the digital space. Now, for us who are in content business, for example, you and I, we need to start thinking, how can we make or use platforms, for example, video on demand platforms, to reach the consumers and the mass consumers, where they can be paying even 10 shillings to watch a funny video, or they subscribe 10 shillings a day and they watch that content on the platforms that they are on. And that would be like, for example, WhatsApp. I see a lot of people coming up with apps. I see a lot of people doing that, but in this section of the world or in this region, we are not app-centric, but we are social-centric. And WhatsApp is the largest platform, for example. So we need to start thinking and being like, we can produce content, yes, but how about we start producing this content to this consumer? Which is, I think, what Netflix saw and the Showmaxes saw way before. And they were like, you know what? People will stop going to the movies to watch movies. People will stop purchasing stuff physically, and they'll go into the digital space. That's just an example of this content business we're in. So each and every person in each and every sector needs to look at how to bring two things: trust and convenience to the consumer. And here it's on-demand economy. It's all about value economy. So trust here is, what channels can people use where they are trustworthy, where my information is not going to be exploited, where my security is guaranteed. Two, convenience is, how can I get it here and now? When I wake up, I don't have to phone anyone, I don't have to use so much effort to get that service or product from you. And so each and every industry has to look at it that way. Whether it's education, right now we're all homeschooling. Who thought, we used to look at homeschoolers like broke people who can't afford to take their kids to school. But but now all of us are like, this thing can work. We've been doing it for 2 months. It works. So schools now have to start thinking, how will we still survive in this economy during this post-COVID even? How will we be able to survive during that time? And so, long and short of it is, for me, it's those two things: trust and convenience. And it's bringing that value economy to the forefront, and all of us seeing how we can be able to help our consumers get our services and products at the least cost and at the least effort.
Yeah, so I noticed even with software, we're getting into a situation where you do not own anything. You basically buy rights to use it for a certain period of time. And we grew up in an economy where you went to buy a box of Microsoft Word and you owned it for life. So will that translate to the service industry?
It definitely, I believe it will. Service industry will be the same thing. And we started seeing this even in platforms like Upwork, where you can go and put your CV or your services that you offer, and someone comes and buys that service for a specific period of time. But many people can come and do the same thing, and you're getting paid through the platform. They hold the money in escrow from the clients, and every time you accomplish a milestone, they're giving you that money. They pay you that money. If you don't accomplish, the money in escrow goes back to the client or the customer. So for a very long period of time, we've been seeing this kind of services and platforms coming up. But of course, we've been I like saying we're romantic to what we know and what has been working for a very long period of time. But now, with people in the service industry, we will really need to change the ways that we're doing, to form new products or new ways how we can bring our services to the forefront. We'll just have to evolve. We'll have to evolve with this disruption and ride the wave and see how. And it's all consumer centric. That's one thing I like telling you guys. It's all consumer centric. You have to look at your customer or your target market and see how best they want that service. And for me, there are very many examples we can look at that have gone ahead of us, and we can see that even in the music business, you don't have to buy albums anymore. You can even buy one single song. For a very long period of time, you couldn't buy a single song. If you remember Prince, you had to buy a whole tape or a whole CD. So, and that goes back now to what people like. I want what I want, when I want, at whatever time I want it. So if we can be able to offer that to people, even in the hoteling industry, where we started seeing the sharing of, you can convert your home into a hotel. If you want cab services, you didn't have to have your cab guy who you call and he's in airport but tells you, give me 5 minutes.
Niko hapa
So,
nakuja.
Niko hapa tu. Niko hapa unioni, and then you wait for a whole hour. So all service industries, they have to look at that critically. If you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, all these things can be found online. Nowadays, people are using apps, web apps, to do their quotations, invoicing, taxation, and they're able to keep their books. They don't need to hire an accountant. How you as an accountant, how can you be able to ride this wave and see how you can provide the services? It all comes down to the consumer.
So, a word of encouragement. I know a lot of guys are going through tough times, especially in the creative industry. I know your faith also informs what you do. So you have a positive outlook on things, mostly. How can you encourage guys at this time?
So at this time, first of all, it's never too late. It's not too late. If what you're doing is not working and has not been working, it's not too late to turn around and change. And everyone in this time is very tender, for lack of a better word, is tender and knows that we have to expect and see and expect people to change how they're going to provide their services. If you're a designer, if you're in this creative space, if you're an actor, you've not had an acting gig for the past 3 months, you just have to ride the wave. You have to take on these platforms. They are free, of course, quote unquote. You're selling your information, your data, but they are free to enter. It's easy for you now to make content. It's easy for you to become a thought leader in what you do. It's easy for you to start doing what you love, because now this handset makes you what typically we say a media house. You can produce this content. So me and you, Prince, are the same. You with all your gear and me with this device. We are the same. I can produce content here, I can distribute this content, and I can speak to my audience here, and I can sell even products here. So the thing all about it is, first of all, we have to renew our minds, just like the Bible says, we perish because of lack of knowledge. So we have to renew our minds. We have to empower ourselves. We have to get onto these platforms. There's a place called Google that is remarkable, or YouTube, where you can learn anything at any time, any new skill you want. There are people giving information for free. So it just needs you to put in more effort, 2 hours a day, to learn new skills, to learn new ways on how you can bring your art, your gifting to the fore. never too late. You can start now. And once you start now, you just do it in scale. You just commit and commit to do it in scale. If it means you start doing business online, if it means you start giving your services online through Upwork platforms and many others, you can Google them as well. Start doing it. Start at a base rate, at a small rate, and start growing your portfolio once again to the point where people can pay you what you want to get paid. That's the best I can give. I can tell people, like, we have no option. We have no option. It's going to get tough. Even for landlords, it will get tough. People are moving out of office spaces. So what will you do with your office space? What will you do with the commercial space? Rates will start coming down. Same thing with residential homes. Rates will start coming down. Everyone will suffer in this period. All we have to do is hold each other and stop looking at it as a survival time. It's just time for us to rebuild. To just rebuild. Nehemiah style. Just time to rebuild. That's what it is.
So if people want to get hold of George Kagwe and get inspired, whether it's George Kagwe the comedian or the IT guru, how can they get you?
They can get me through 2 platforms. Email me at kagwe@bawa.co.ke. That's kagwe@bawa.co.ke. Or you can hit me up on WhatsApp on my line 0721 914 0721 914 or all social media platforms. George Kagwe, hit me up, DM me, let's talk. What's up, people? This has been Word of Mouth with Prince, with George, aka Scholar, aka Mpesa Lady. And it's been awesome. Please subscribe and follow all platforms.